Hello everyone, in this video we'll learn about time complexity and some examples related to it. Time complexity of an algorithm is given by the number of steps taken by the algorithm to compute the function it was written for. Okay, normally the time complexity is written as T of P. P is any problem or algorithm you are going to take. Taken by a program, P is the sum of compile time and the run time. So, T of P for any problem is the sum of compile time and run time. Okay. The compile time does not depend on the instance characters. Normally, compile time is independent, and we have to concern with the runtime of the program, which is denoted by small tp. Okay, here, as I told, T of P is nothing but sum of compile time plus runtime, and we have to more be concerned with the runtime of the program. How to calculate this runtime of the program, that is more important. How to calculate, how to count the program steps. That is why, as I told here, you need to understand the kind of statements that occurs or that is normally present in the program. Now, you can get comments in the program. So count as 0 steps. Whenever you get comments, you have to count how many steps? 0 steps. So comments are normally indicated with the double forward slash. Okay. Next, an assignment which does not involve any calls to other algorithm is counted as one step. Assignment statement as one step. Okay, you have to consider the count as 1. Okay, in an iterative statement such as for, while and repeat until statements, we will consider, for our reference, we will consider step count only for the control part of the statement. Here we are going to consider only for the control part of the statement. Okay, and you know that for loop or anything, it will contain so many parts like initialization, increment, and then the control part. But we will consider only for the control part of the statement. Okay, and each execution of the control part of a while loop is given by a step count equal to the number of step counts assignable to expression. Okay, it is here the for loop control parts we are going to consider. Okay, and how many times the for loop is going to execute, that we are going to count it here. Okay, so for each execution of the control part of a while statement, suppose if it is while or for whatever, it is given by a step count equal to the number of step counts assignable to the expression. Now we'll see how a program step can be counted. There are two ways. Now let's see the first method. In the first method, we need to introduce a new variable count into the problem. So we are going to attach a count statement with the appropriate increment count. We are going to attach a count statement with the appropriate increment count to every executable statement in the program. Okay, let me explain with an example. So now, if I write some algorithm A, B, C, and some parameters. Okay, I am not passing any parameters. There are let's assume there are assignment statements like this. So if this is an algorithm, now for each executable statement in the program, we need to introduce a count statement with an appropriate increment count. That is, since it is just an assignment statement, let's increment the count by 1. The increment count here is 1, whereas here s equal to s plus 1. So count equal to, again let's introduce a count with an appropriate increment count equal to count plus 1. So totally this algorithm will have a count 2. So 2 times it is going to execute. So we are going to introduce like this, and this count increment differs from one kind of a statement to another statement that we have seen in the last slide, for how many count you need to consider, and etc. etc. Next, this is remember, count is always a global variable which is initialized with 0. So let's assume always count is initialized with 0. So statement to increment count by appropriate amount are introduced into the program. Next, this is done so that each time a statement in the original program is executed, count is incremented by the step count of that statement. Let's consider the example of sum of n numbers. So this is an algorithm. There are totally 9 lines. There are totally 9 lines in the statement. We are not going to introduce a count for these title heading statement. Okay, opening that is opening flower bracket or closing flower bracket. For that we are not going to attach any count statement. Only for the executable statements we are going to attach. So the first line here is s equal to 0 0. Next line in the program is this. Next line in this program is this, and the last line is this. Only for these statements I am going to introduce a count statement. And remember, all the C count that is first character of the count is small here. It's okay. C it is small c. So here also small c. Okay. So count is equal to count plus 1. Count is equal to count plus 1. So why? So whenever if it is assignment statement, so where the program step will be 1. So count will be count equal to count plus 1. Okay. Since the number of times this line is going to execute is 1 time. So count equal to count plus 1. Okay, every time the program runs, this is going to execute 1 time. What about for loop? That is, the for loop is going to execute n times. So I am writing this within the for bracket, count equal to count plus 1. So the number of times this for loop will gets executed will be n times. So that's why count equal to count plus 1. Okay, I am writing within the flower bracket. What about s equal to s plus y? As the number of times for executes, this also going to execute this particular statement, s equal to s plus fi also gets executed. So count equal to count plus 1. Okay. Next, count here also, why this count equal to count plus 1? So you know that for loop successfully executes n times, but it also to check for the failure case it executes 1 time. So that count I am writing outside the for loop. So count equal to count plus 1 for last time of for. Then return s gets executed 1 time. So count equal to count plus 1. Now let's see the simplified version of this program Now we will try to simplify this algorithm. So count is executed how many times? So you can see here there are 2 blocks in the algorithm. One is this inside block and then the outside block. Outside block, here the count the count is gets incremented once, then only I'm looking in the outside block, not inside the block. This is the inside block. Okay, so count equal to count plus 1, count equal to count plus 1, count equal to count plus. So count becomes, in the outside loop, count has plus 3 increment. Outside loop, count has totally, in the outside loop, count has totally count equal to count plus 3. Adding count plus 1, this count plus 1 and this count plus. Whereas inside block, inside the for loop, count gets incremented twice. So count equal to count plus 2. Okay, so the number of times the statements here are gets executed twice. Number of times here outside the block outside the for loop gets executed are count equal to count plus 3. Okay, so that is the program steps. Number of times the lines gets executed, executable statements gets executed. So let's simplify that. See, you can see here outside the loop count gets executed count equal to 3 times. So count equal to count plus 3. Inside the for loop count equal to count plus 2. Okay. So how many times the total algorithm gets executed? So inside this loop count equal to count plus 2. So this particular statement gets executed n times. So 2 into n times. So totally 2n times. So here it is 2n times. Here it is 3 times. So total execution or the total time complexity of the sum program is 2n plus 3. 2n plus 3. So if a count is 0 to start with, then it will be 2n plus 3 on termination. So the time complexity of this program is 2n plus 3. Now we'll find the time complexity for another algorithm. What this algorithm is about? This algorithm is about counting the or summing the array elements in a recursive manner. So first let's see the code of the recursive program. So if n less than equal to 0, then return 0, else return r sum of a comma n minus 1 plus a of n. Here you can see that in this line we are recursively calling the n minus 1 elements and adding that the last element to that. Okay, and this recursively call will be keep calling n minus 1 element, then adding the n minus 1 element, next n minus 2 element, and so on until you finish adding up all the array elements. That is what happens here. Okay, now how to add the step count for, how to introduce in the step count for the algorithm. First of all, the first statement of this algorithm is if n less than equal to 0, then. So this line executes once at a time. So that's why let's introduce a count variable, count equal to count plus 1. Next we have return 0 points. For that we'll introduce one more count. Okay, and this count is within the loop. Why this count is within the loop? Not within the brackets. Okay, this count is within the brackets, fla brackets. And here one thing is clear, this return 0.0 will be executed only if the condition is true. If the condition is false, the other part of the program is getting executed, that is this return would get executed. So that means all the time all parts of the program will not execute here. Okay, so if n is less than or equal to 0, this part, otherwise this part. Okay, so for return we have here addition method invocation, isn't it? So that is function invocation and return. So for that I will introduce one count variable. Apart from that, this sum function, that is this recursive function is called n minus 1 time. So for that, the time taken by this R sum a comma n minus 1 to calculate the remaining, to sum the remaining array elements is tr sum of n minus 1. Okay. Now since I have told in the beginning, as I told in the beginning, that only some part of the program gets executed based on the n value. So if n is 0, there is count gets executed twice. Yes, one for if statement, that is count equal to this count. This count is common for this part as well as this part. So this count gets executed for this part as well as this part. So count gets executed for, if n is 1, this count gets executed as well as this count. So totally count will be count plus 2, right? So totally the count gets executed twice. So that's why if n is 0, number of step count is 2. Whereas in this case, else part, if n is greater than 0, count gets executed twice. So 2 plus the method invocation, function invocation time complexity would be tr sum of n minus 1. So if we solve this, then we get 2n plus 2 for n greater than equal to 0. This portion gets executed, will be evaluated to 2n plus 2, n greater than equal to 0. Let's check that. So initially tr sum of n equal to 2 plus tr sum of n is equal to 2 plus tr sum of n minus 1. Now what is tr sum of n? That is 2 plus tr sum of n is nothing but 2 plus tr sum of n minus 1. So what is tr sum of n minus 1? That is 2 plus tr sum of n minus 2. So that means this time you are getting, for the second iteration, you are getting 2 into 2 plus tr sum of n minus 2. For the nth iteration, this is for the first iteration. Next, for the nth iteration, what you are going to get? Nth iteration, you can see here, you can get n into 2 plus tr sum of 0. So tr sum will go to 0 value. Okay, for the nth iteration. Now what is tr sum of 0? This is nothing but 2n plus tr sum of 0. We have already, if n is 0, then the value of tr sum of n is, that is 2. So we get 2n plus 2. So this gets evaluated to 2n plus 2 for n greater than or equal to 0. Next we'll see one more example. Now we'll see the another example to find the step count, and here I have considered addition of a matrix. So the parameters are A and B are the two matrices, C will be the resultant matrix, M and N are the order of the matrix. Now these three lines performs the addition of the two matrix, and let's block these. That is, let's create the block structure for the program. So for I equal to 1 to m, do. So that is applicable for the next innermost for loop as well as this assignment statement. So it should come here. Then one more block is within this inside for loop, innermost for loop. So this is how the block structure. So you can see here, outermost brackets, innermost, and then this. Okay. Now let's introduce the count variable. For the first first statement in the algorithm is for that. For that I will introduce the count. Okay, count one step count. So that I am going to introduce within the for loop. Next, for the Second for loop, that is innermost for loop, I will introduce one count variable. So count equal to count plus 1. Then for the assignment statement, I will introduce a count variable with one step count. Then this innermost for loop also execute one more time, that is for the last time, just to quit or break the for loop. For that time, that count is shown here with this count equal to count plus 1, and then this for loop also gets comes out of the loop. That means one more time it is going to execute other than the this innermost execution. So that's why that count is shown here outside the for loop block. So count equal to count plus 1. So last time for the for I and last time for I is introduced, count is introduced here. Okay. Next, now I will simplify this. Simplify in the sense, within this for loop, how many count will have a value count equal to count plus 2. That means it will execute 2 times at a time. It is going to, that is inside the for loop, it executes 2 steps. Next, here inside this for loop, again count equal to count plus 2. Okay, this count and this count will be added up. Next, finally count equal to count plus 1. Let's see the simplified version of it. You can see here count equal to count plus 2 for this, and then innermost one for this for j, count equal to count plus 1, then outside. So how many times this gets executed? Let's check that. So this particular count, that means it's going to execute twice, but within the for loop it gets executed m times. So 2m times this particular line gets executed. What about this? What about this? This gets executed. This gets executed 2mn times. 2mn. This is executed twice and n times. This for loop, this particular statement gets executed. That's why 2mn times. And next, finally, this line gets executed once. So total, the time complexity of this add function is greater than equal to 2mn plus 2m plus 1. This is about calculating the time complexity by introducing a count variable. Next, we'll see the second method to determine the step count of an algorithm. Okay, in a table manner. Let's check it. How we are going to find. So first of all, here I have written the algorithm. This algorithm is going to sum the array elements. Okay, this is a non-recursive one, and you need to have a columns for a statement, steps per execution, frequency and total. First of all, this first line, let's read the first line. How many number of times it is going to execute? This is going to execute. Always remember, the heading is going to execute. We are going to consider as 0. The steps per execution for the heading is 0. Then the number of times this particular line gets executed is nil. Then finally total number of times this execution is 0. Okay. Next, again the open bracket 0 bracket, frequency is 0, so total is 0. Now this particular line in the algorithm executes once. Steps per execution is 1, and the number of times this executes is, there is no for loop for this, so this frequency is 1, and 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 1 is 1. So total is that many number of times. Now for I equal to 1 to n. So this for loop will execute once, and how many number of times this will execute is n plus 1 time. We have already seen. Why? For loop for the if the condition is true, then it is going to execute n times, and 1 plus 1 time, that is 1 extra time for the failure, for the last time of for. So That's why n plus 1 time. 1 into n plus 1 is n plus 1. Next, s equal to s plus a of phi. This line is assignment statement, so we are going to consider it as a one step. Okay, then the number of times this is, you can see that this particular line is executes based on the for loop. So this will execute n times, not n plus 1 times. This is gets executed n times. So 1 into n is n, and return s is one step. So it is not this particular line. You can see here, this is exactly below the for loop line. So that means return s is out. Return s will not get executed based on the for loop. Once for loop completes its execution, then only control will be transferred to return s. So it is not dependent. Return s is not dependent on for. So steps for execution is 1 and the frequency is 1. 1 into 1 is 1. So now let's total it. The total here is 1 plus n plus 1 plus n plus 1. So 2n plus 3. So the time complexity is 2n plus 3. This is the another method in the table format. Next, we'll see an moral algorithm. Thus we have just seen, we'll see one more algorithm, recursive sum of a array elements. So this is same as the previous one. Here, as usual, the algorithm heading, steps for execution is 0, 0. But in this case, if you see the algorithm, there are two cases. All parts of the program will not execute all the time, will not get executed all the time. So that's why what we have to make a two category here, one for n equal to 0 and one for n greater than 0. So n equal to 0 is here, okay, and n greater than 0. For n equal to 0, this line, obviously the steps for execution 0, so this is blank, so 0, 0. Here also total step also you have to consider in a category n equal to 0 and n greater than 0. Next, if n is less than, if statement gets steps per execution is one step, we are going to consider it as one step. And if n equal to 0, it is going to execute one time. If n greater than 0 also, it is going to execute one time. So 1 into 1, 1, 1 into 1, 1. Next, return. Return is, the step is 1. If n equal to 0, then only, if n equal to 0, then only this return gets executed. That's why under n equal to 0, we are going to write 1, because it is going to, the number of times it is going to execute is 1. And n greater than 0, it is not going to execute. This line will not execute if n is greater than 0. So 1 into 1 is 1. Here 1 into 0 is 0. Next, else return or sum. So it is same as the previous one. So this portion I am going to consider tr sum of n minus 1 plus 1 time. Return 1 time. Return addition method invocation I am going to consider as one step. So 1 plus x. X is nothing but this portion. So 1 plus x. Okay, steps for execution is 1 plus x. If n equal to 0, this portion will not execute. You know that this portion gets executed only if n is greater than 0. So that's why it is 0. Here it is 1 time. So 1 plus x into 1 is 1. So finally the closing flag bracket will get executed 0 times. So now let us add up this column as well as this column. This column gives you 2 and this column gives you x, where x equal to tr sum of. So like earlier we got tr sum of n is nothing but, that is time complexity of that So tr sum of n if n equal to 0 and for n greater than 0. N equal to 0 twice, n equal to 0 it is twice, n greater than 0 it is 2 plus x. Instead of x I can write this, because x is equal to this. TR sum of n minus 1. Next, we'll find the step count using table for matrix addition algorithm. So here, first of all, the algorithm heading will execute 0 times. This open bracket executes 0 times. Now coming to this for loop, we are going to consider this for as one step, and then how many number of times this for loop gets executed? M plus 1 time. You know that 1 for the failure of M and M times it is on for the successful for. Okay, so M times it gets executes plus 1 time it is executes for the failure. For the last time for gets execute 1 time. Okay, 1 into M plus 1, M plus 1, J also 1, M into N plus 1, M into N plus 1. So here this step is for, steps per execution is 1, but how many number of times this is going to execute? This is going to execute based on this. So this line gets executed n plus 1 time, whereas this for loop, this nested for loop, that is inside for loop, gets executed m into n plus 1 times. Okay, so we can write mn plus m, 1 into mn plus m. Next, C of I. This is an assignment statement. I am going to consider it as 1. And how many times this will get executed? So n and m, mn times. So mn times. So 1 into mn is mn. So this how I got mn. This is nothing but mn plus m. So 1 into mn plus m is m. So this is 1 into m plus 1. So total it is going to execute 2mn plus 2m plus 1 time. Now we'll consider another example, that is nth Fibonacci series algorithm, and the aim is to calculate time complexity, that is step count. Now here the nth Fibonacci number can be calculated using the n minus 1th number and n minus 2th number. So these are the this is the formula. So nth number is calculated as n minus 1 and plus n minus 2. Okay, so and after calculating the nth number, this can be used to calculate the next number. This can be used to calculate the next number. How? This number and this number is used to find the next number. So that's why I have written here a Fibonacci series algorithm. If n is less than or equal to 1, this is a termination step, because you know that in a recursive formula the termination or step is very much necessary. So if n is less than or equal to 1, write n. Else fnm of 2, that is 0, and fnm equal to 1. Okay, fn, that is nth Fibonacci number when calculated as by summing the n minus 1th and n minus 2th number. So finally this need to be initialized to this recently calculated number also will be used for calculating the next number. That's why this to initialization, this number is initialized here, and this number is initialized to here. Okay, so after calculating the nth Fibonacci number, okay, nth Fibonacci number, we are going to write that output. Next, here since it is a recursive program, and that has to be two categories, one for n less than or equal to 1 and one for n greater than 1. So n greater than 1. Okay, surely n less than or equal to 1 and n greater than 1. First statement till here, the statements till here are executed 0 times. Okay, so no execution. Next, if n less than or equal to 1, if executes 1 time, steps per execution for if statement is 1 time. Okay, then for n greater than 1, for the if statement gets executed for both the cases, if n less than or equal to 1 as well as if n greater than 1. So that means this gets executed one time. And frequency, what's the number of frequency? Frequency is 1, this gets executed one time, and this also gets executed, right? So 1 into 1, 1 into 1 will give you the total number of steps. Next of the particular statement. Next, write will gets executed only if this condition is true, based on if. So if n less than or equal to 1, then only this line gets executed. That's why for n less than or equal to 1, this gets executed 1, whereas n greater than this gets executed 0, and number of times this gets executed, frequency is 1, and this is 0. So 1 into 1 is 1, then 0. Next comes to else part. There are two assignment statements for n greater than 1 condition. So I am writing here steps to be executed are 2, and then number of times this gets executed is 1. So 2 into 1 is 2 for n greater than 1. Next, for loop one step under n greater than 1. And how many times for loop gets executed? That is n time. That is n time. Why n time? Let's take some example and see this for loop how many times it is going to execute. That is, suppose n is 4, when I equal to 2 it gets executed, when I equal to 3 it is going to execute, when I equal to 4 also it is going to execute, as well as when I gets increment, that means I fails, in that case also it gets executed. Total 4 times it is going to execute. That is, what was the value I took for n? That is 4. So totally n time. Okay, 1 into n is n. Next, this assignment statement, fnm 1 plus fnm 2. So this is an assignment statement one time, and how many times this gets executed? 1 less than this for loop execution, that is n minus 1. And similarly, this gets executed one time, n minus 1 time, one step, n minus 1 time. This is an assignment statement one time plus n minus 1 time. Okay, finally, the write, this line is for write. This is executed 0 time, one time, and how many times this gets executed? One time. Okay, so 1 into 1. So now let's calculate. If n greater than equal to 1, how many number of times? Let's add up this. We are going to get 2 here by adding 1 plus 2 plus n minus 1. n minus 1 is 3n minus 3 plus 1. So minus 3 plus 3, 0. So 4n plus 1. 2 and 4n plus 1. So T Fibonacci of n, time complexity of Fibonacci program whose size is n, is nothing but will be 2 if n less than or equal to 1, 2 if n less than or equal to 1, and 4n plus 1 if n greater than 1. So this is how you can calculate the time complexity or a step count using the two different methods, one in the table format using the steps per execution frequency format, and one by introducing a count variable.